there afterwards, just for those that have missed it, or if you want to revisit any information that's presented on here. So obviously you're here for the Futures Programme update with the M17s and the combined F17 GB programme. The kind of stuff I want to go through tonight is mostly some formalities around the objectives of the camps and some stuff around the staff, and also a bit more planning and logistical stuff that we're going to go through. So just to kind of whiz through the objectives and not spend too much time on this. You've all been part of the Futures Programme or the GB F17s for the most part of the year, and this opportunity to go out to Viborg, we see this as a nice opportunity to expose players to a really tough competitive environment, which will hopefully give them opportunities to develop their skill sets from a tactical perspective, and sort of apply their skills in this more competitive environment. It's quite intense with the amount of games that the players are playing, and we feel like this is a great tournament. We've been going there for quite a few years now. Obviously with the break of COVID, we didn't go out there the last couple of years because it wasn't on, so this is our first visit back, and we're really looking forward to sending the players out this summer. From our side, it's a great way to benchmark players, especially from those that are sort of transitioning into GB programs, understanding how the teams are performing together, and also to assess them individually as well. And in terms of our final priority, it's where can we get to in this tournament across each squad. We are ranking these objectives in order of importance. So first of all, it's really important that players are getting as much game time as possible. So it isn't about can we go and play the strongest team throughout or the strongest 7 players throughout the whole tournament and at the expense of the other players. It's very much an opportunity for all players to go and get exposure to this competitive environment. Having said that, the squads are quite large, so we're taking 16 players, and within each game, I've spoken to Matt about this as well. We will probably be doing something along the lines of 2 players will be essentially reserves for that game, so they won't be on the bench, but they will be given some tasks that are going to help them develop along the way, so some analysis tasks and stuff like that, so that we can make full use of the time out there and not try and spread the time per game too thinly, if that makes sense. But having said that, because of the amount of games that we're playing, that shouldn't be an issue. Usually there's 2 games per day, so all players will be getting plenty of game time across the week. In terms of staffing, I'm not sure if he's on the call, if Charlie's managed to jump in, but going as head of delegation is Charlie Clark. Charlie Clark worked with England Handball for about 3 years, just before the COVID pandemic started. Charlie was East regional academy manager, was a former handball player, played in the Great Britain youth teams back in 2012-13, and was an ACE program graduate, which is now called the DICE program. Since Charlie went off to university and studied PE teaching, he came back and worked with us for, like I said, for a few years. He's been out to Denmark twice as part of this program, as part of the Futures program. Did a fantastic job as head of delegation on all fronts. Also has some expertise in goalkeeper coaching, and will be mostly supporting Alexander Themis with the boys program, given that we don't have an assistant boys coach going with Alexander. You guys all know Matt Derber as the lead F17s coach. I won't go into his. Ollie, I believe everyone knows Ollie, but Ollie, do you want to say a few words about yourself and your involvement in the program?
Yeah, I'm similar to Charlie in that I've gone through kind of all the youth age groups in the England handball and GB handball setups. I've started with the England under 17s and moved on to GB under 18s and under 20s with Bobby as my coach, which was great fun. And now we've progressed into the senior team as well. So kind of dotting around, and also on the coaching front, I am the assistant to Matt for the women's under 17s GB squad as well. So just kind of a bit of a England handball and GB handball keen bean is my story.
Thanks, Ollie. And leading the boys team is Alexander Themis, who's currently away. His sister's wedding in Cyprus, who couldn't join us today. But the boys on the program will know Alexander well. And then in terms of physios that we've got coming with us, we've got Michaela Whedon, who has been a part of, I say our staff, but she's been working with us since 2018. She's been at various camps abroad, Paris World Games. I think she's been to Viborg a couple of times as well for this tournament, and also supported us at some home camps. Currently working with Luton Town FC. And then we've got Ellie Hargreaves, who's come with us. She's been supporting the performance program at Loughborough College. So she's worked with some of the athletes there in terms of helping them recover from injuries. But her main role is with Nottingham Forest within the youth team setup. So we've got 2 female members of staff and the 4 male members of staff coming out with us. And just to be kind of clear on this, all staff have appropriate safeguarding and enhanced DBS checks, just to put all parents and kids at ease with that. They've been vetted very thoroughly and have plenty of experience working with our programs. In terms of a bit more around the planning organisation, we will send out a kind of like final planning document, as I have done with most of the training camps this season. We've sent out like a live document that has, I would like to think, all the major information on it. This particular document will also have links to any live streaming that we set up. We'll try to put fixture lists in there, or at least a link to the fixture list, so that it's all available on one spreadsheet. And within that, that document will also go out via the WhatsApp group. We'll put it in the description of a WhatsApp group that we'll share with you guys. You can actually access it by clicking the link that's on this document that will be sent out to you guys. And that's where all major updates will be sent, and hopefully we can get all players and parents that are attending the camp in that group. We'll be sending out there's a new player form available that you guys can fill in to include all emergency contacts, bill information, and so on. So we have all the up-to-date information for every player that Charlie will be in charge of. And then in terms of accommodation, I've already had some conversations with parents about this to kind of be clear on accommodation arrangements that are out there. There's 2 separate dormitories. It will be all boys in one dormitory, all girls in another dormitory, and a room for male staff and a room for female staff. The sleeping arrangements in terms of over previous years, it's been the same setup in terms of the dormitories, but the beds themselves, I believe in the past, have been probably lacking in terms of the comfort side of things. So normally players have been given like thin kind of like yoga mattresses, that kind of stuff, and sleeping on classroom floors. This time around we've got much better mattresses, so I'm told much more comfortable environment for the players to stay in. And the actual place where they're staying will be, I believe it's about a 10-minute bus ride from the sports hall. So just in terms of logistical planning, there will be a need for all the players to be mindful of the times that we need to depart, the times that we need to be ready to leave the accommodation to get to our relevant matches. But again, all that stuff will go out in the planning document, and Charlie and the coaches indeed will tell everyone exactly what the script is when we arrive in Viborg. Up next, so you guys are all aware of the payment deadline of the 27th of July. If you do not have the payment information, please drop me a message and let me know. I will be doing a check on the payments over the next couple of weeks, just to see what we've got come in already. But hopefully everyone has got that information. In terms of travelling to the event from Stoke Mandeville, I'll talk about Stoke Mandeville shortly. I'm reviewing it at the moment. We've got a coach booked from Stansted on the Monday morning to get us to the airport, but it's a very early start. So I'm just discussing with Stoke Mandeville the idea of not having the accommodation at Stoke Mandeville on the Sunday night and trying to book a hotel at Stansted instead, so that we can leave Stoke Mandeville on the Sunday evening. Although it's not exactly that far Aylesbury to Stansted, it'd be much better to have a later start on the Monday morning, just so everyone's recovered and ready to go. And on this document, you can find the travel insurance documents. Now, coincidentally, our travel insurance runs out on the 1st of August, so it will be renewed and ready for us to go on the 1st of August as well. So you can, there's a folder on our Google Drive that you can access the document if you want to check it out, but just be aware it will say that the deadline, that it ends on the 1st of August, but we will have a new document ready to go for when we leave. And then in terms of just a little bit of planning stuff to bear in mind for when we are at Stoke Mandeville over the weekend of the Friday 29th to the 31st. This is kind of what the programme will look like. We've got the Regional Academy tournament / camps taking place over that weekend. You can see the boys and girls camps alternate, and there'll be specific training on the days that they do not have the regional academy camp. When they're at the regional academy camp, they'll be embedded into the rest of the program with the other players. In terms of the food arrangements, the catering arrangements, this is what it will kind of look like. I'm still negotiating with Stoke Mandeville on what the actual setup will be, but it will probably be something like this. Players will be expected to have packed lunches with them on the Friday, and potentially sort themselves out in terms of lunches on the Saturday and Sunday. There'll be time for that, and there's a shop nearby where they can go and grab stuff. But the breakfast and dinners will be included within the package. At Stoke Mandeville, we've currently got accommodation booked. It will be players sleeping in twin rooms over that weekend, and like I said, we're just trying to sort out the Sunday evening at the moment to see if we can get a more comfortable arrangement for our travel to Stansted. I'm going to take this opportunity. I've spoke to Jill Tyler before, who's had two of her boys be a part of the pathway and attend this tournament, or at least attend overseas tournaments before. Jill, I'm not sure if you're willing just to share a little bit of experience that you've had in the past with these kind of events. It's completely okay if you don't want to. We did speak about it before, but I might have just thrown this on you at the last minute, so feel free to decline.
Yeah, no, thanks, Bobby. That's absolutely fine. So for parents who don't know me, I've got Katie, who's going obviously with the girls. And we were lucky enough to go to the very first time that England or GB Handball went to this tournament in Denmark, where my middle son was playing, and the rest of us actually went out to watch. So Viborg himself is a lovely place to be. And even though it's the first one, I will have to say this one was really well organised as a competition with lots of people there, very, very well organised, and a good camp for them all. Easy to find out details of when they were playing matches and when not. I can't tell you whether it was actually ever televised, this one, or kind of shown or streamed. I don't know what they've done about that now, because obviously I went out to watch, and I do intend to go out this time to go and see. But yeah, I mean, normally when they've been, say both boys have been on a number of camps abroad with England or GB Handball. And as long as they follow and keep an eye on the times of where they need to be, I think all is well. Food can be hit and miss, but I believe it was all right in Viborg. So that's good for them to know that they are fed and watered over there. And yeah, just a great experience. But if anybody has got any questions, just from a parent point of view of knowing about it, I'm sure that Bobby or Ollie can answer, but I can also do it just as a parent.
Thanks for that, Jill. Appreciate it. We're going to move on to questions now, and if there's some more general ones, then we can answer. And if there's some more specific from a parent's point of view, parent to parent, then obviously we'll let you field the question. So yeah, that's everything that I wanted to run through. And if there's any questions now, then feel free to unmute or put it in the chat box. Mel, you've raised your hand. How very formal on Zoom. You're a Zoom pro, Mel.
I clearly am, aren't I? So, Jill, you may be able to help me understand this, or Bobby, you will. So obviously they come to Stoke Mandeville on the 29th and they're not back until 7th or something. How do we possibly manage that with a rucksack and no suitcase? Yeah.
So what we've done in the past is we've had some arrangements made for parents to visit on the Sunday evening at Stoke Mandeville and bring stuff, do a drop off and collect other stuff. I'd appreciate if you're traveling from a distance that this might be a problem. We could do something along the lines of speaking to our colleagues at Stoke Mandeville and find a place for stuff to be stored. I'm also going to be staying fairly local because I'm not traveling out there, but I've got family in Milton Keynes, which is close to Aylesbury, so I'll probably be happy to collect some stuff and store it there for the week, and then try to find a way of getting it back to you guys. I think it's just about being creative with what we're doing over that weekend.
Do they get the large luggage, like hand luggage, or is it?
So the flights were incredibly expensive, and we've tried to limit the cost. And in fact, that the £400 that it is for you guys to go, England Handball have subsidised a fair chunk of that. So if we've added flights, the additional baggage on top, it would have been kind of astronomical and difficult to manage. So the baggage situation is detailed on the form that went out, but essentially it's the hand luggage that goes in that can it's like one bag, one rucksack. It's not an additional tank. I don't think they weigh it. I travelled recently to Billund and they didn't weigh it. The bag that we took, we had the same bag. It was literally just a backpack that I took, stuff full. And yeah, essentially we're going to need players to. I mean, all the handball kit that they need is going to be provided, so there's no need for kind of loads of stuff. The kids just need the bare minimum in terms of their clothes that they might wear throughout the day, like their tracksuit and stuff. And then we've also got 6 bags going, so 3 20-kilo bags that will be going with staff. So each staff member will have a 20-kilo bag allocated to them, where we can store some additional things like toiletries and stuff. But what we'll do beforehand is send out what our expectations are in terms of that, because we've had in the past, girls bring in 1 litre bottles of shampoo, which weigh a kilo each or whatever, and some of the boys are too, in fact. So we need to just be mindful of how much people are taking. So where possible, if players can share toiletries and stuff like that, then we'd appreciate that, because we don't want to fill the bags up too much with additional stuff that might be easier if we just sort of like merge stuff like that. So does that make sense? I hope I haven't just rambled there, but yeah, I can come back to that if we need to. There's a question in the chat box, Jill. I'll come to you in a second about purchasing additional 10k luggage. To be honest, it will be a nightmare. We're going through the agent to do that. Like they won't let us do that. They'd want everyone to have 10k baggage or not. So we'll just do it the route that we've done it previously with the 6 additional bags that we're taking. Jill, question?
Not a question, but just to say, because I'm intending to go out, I'll equally have luggage. Had already planned that I'd be perhaps taking toiletries for Katie, but it can be a larger one for the whole of the girls. So that might just give you a bit more, movement on there with the things there. Happy to do that.
Amazing.
That'd be lovely, Jill. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Jill, for that. I mean, I've had a note from Gina, who's our contact in Viborg, and she's mentioned that there's a lot of parents that are going out there. So if anyone else wants to support us in that kind of capacity as well, that could be really useful. But I think that what we've done in the past, we managed. As long as people are mindful and considerate of how much they take, then we should be able to get through that challenge.
I think, Bobby, if we've got the WhatsApp group set up, if there are a few parents going, maybe we could coordinate in advance so that we don't overload with 25 bottles of shampoo then.
Perfect. Thank you, Mel. Yeah, it's good idea. Any more questions?
Bobby, can I just ask, is there anything in the evenings, like do they have to dress up or anything, or is it literally just casual for the evening, shorts, t-shirt, that kind of stuff?
They don't need anything other than casual clothes, Kerry. It's there's no formal events for them to go to. There are some events later on in the week, but we've never gone to them. It's just been us turning up to play handball, because it's like normally the day after the tournament, and we're normally flying straight away, and I think they charge extra money for it and stuff. So we've just tried to keep everything bare minimum, and we're there to play handball, not to make friends, which is classic. That's classic me. So sorry about that. Bianca's put in the chat, is there a shop nearby to buy toiletries? I believe there is. I've never been to this part of Viborg where they're staying, but it's a massive town, one of the biggest towns in Denmark, and there'll be plenty of amenities around, I'm sure. I can definitely find out, so that if people want to know before they travel whether or not they could have to take stuff, that'll be fine. Anything else? Okay, it sounds like we're.
Hi, Bobby. Sorry, it's Pippa. Just
no worries.
Sorry. Just a couple of things. So I presume they need to take some kind of towel. So will it have to be just very small? I presume.
I did check with Gina, and she replied to everything other than the towel question. So I need to chase her. So I'll find out about the towels. But I mean, I'm sure everyone's aware you can buy pretty thin, I don't know what they call them, but these new kind of microfiber towels that you can get. So if people can travel with those rather than the old big hefty beach towels, that would probably be the best option.
Okay. And I just to mention, I'm going. I'm coming midweek. I'm coming Wednesday to Friday, just for a few days. So I'll probably, like say, bring some stuff. And if I need to, if anyone wants to in the group, you know, message me and say, can you take something from my child, then I'd happily do that if necessary. And just a quick question, more of just to double check, Tabitha's definitely on the list to go, isn't she, in terms of
I had several exchanges with Barry, our guy at Flights Guru, about the name, whether make sure the spelling of the name was
right, okay,
yeah, it's 100%
perfect. Thank you.
Bobby, when do you need passport numbers?
I've done it all already, Mel. That's all done.
Did I find that? Oh, right.
So I sent out a form a while ago that asked you guys to send a photograph of the passport, and I collated all that data, sent it into Barry, where the flight, it's all done. So,
okay, cool.
I think there's so many emails that go around, you forget which ones you reply.
Oh, I know.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
How the busy day job of coming or going.
Alex, I think your mum's talking, but you're on mute. She's waving. I can't hear you. Sorry, Sarah.
Oh,
You're still on mute. I think it might be you're too far away from the mic, or.
I said they still need to take their passports, don't they?
Absolutely, yeah. Don't turn up without your passport, otherwise you will not be getting on a plane. Sorry.
Okay. And the COVID thing, they don't need to do anything in the end.
So in Denmark, they have no restrictions currently for COVID-19. There's no vaccine passport required. There is no testing required to go on the Ryanair flights, and that's that. Yeah, I was there at the end of May, and there was absolutely zero checks made at the airports, so should be fine with that.
3 of us are going as well, but I haven't taken any suitcase, but I will take 20-kilo suitcase so we can then help as well.
Okay, thanks for that, Sarah. Appreciate it. Jason, you got your hand up?
Yeah, thanks, Bobby. I know we've discussed it between ourselves, just the kit supply issue, and I know it's nothing to do with our side, if you like. It's Hummel, but can you just reassure everybody that the kit will be available that's been ordered?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to speak on behalf of MJM, who are our kit supplier, and make promises that I can't necessarily keep, but I'm quite confident they've never let us down yet in terms of a deadline. So if I suppose what would be useful, and Jason's already flagged it to me, but if there's anyone on the call that's ordered a tracksuit from MJM, hasn't received it, if they can let me know, maybe by the end of the week, so I've got a list of players whose tracksuits are missing, then I can chase that information up. The tracksuits that are available are the same as the DICE tracksuits that players have from last year. So as far as I'm aware, those tracksuits have been relatively well stocked. So I'm confident they will arrive. I've also got some outstanding kit order with them as well. So I'll take the opportunity to follow up on that, Jason. So thanks for the reminder. And if there's people that are still outstanding tracksuits, please let me know by Friday and I'll chase.
Thank you.
Anything else? Okay, then.
Bobby, Maddie's asked in the chat if they need a sleeping bag, just in case you missed that one.
No, don't need a sleeping bag, Maddie. There's also a chat about from James about bringing any training kit. You don't need anything. There's no training sessions taking place that week. It's just match kit that you'll need, and we've got all that sorted. In fact, the F-17s that are going out to Portugal with Matt will be wearing our kit because the GB Hummel kit hasn't arrived, so we're supporting them with the Hummel kit. It's very nice. I've got it all already here in my place. There's no issues around the match kit. You guys will be buzzing when you put it on, so no issues around training kit. I'm gonna give a bit more of a delay now when I ask any more questions. I'm gonna allow an awkward silence before I try to move the conversation on. So, any more questions? I'm shaking of the heads. Okay, I'm confident we have answered all questions, but of course, oh, one in the group, Tosca, slow on the trigger. Is the kit shorts and t-shirt or just a t-shirt? It is shorts and a t-shirt, Tosca. I think I've written on the document that you will need socks, just socks to take with you. So information is out there on the socks. You have got shorts and a t-shirt. Typically, yes. Sarah's put in. Sorry, help her read the question first before replying. Yes. Any clothes washing facilities in Viborg? Yeah, we've used it in the past. Charlie's been excellent at organising all that stuff. So we'll make sure that kit is washed as often as we can possibly wash it. I might leave a little bit longer now before I ask any more questions. Do we get to keep the kit? Oh, what a question. It's always about the kit, isn't it? Always about the t-shirts and the tracksuits. Oh, what do I get to keep? So the the short answer is no, but there's a maybe. So we have ordered a home and away kit. The home kit is red and the away kit is turquoise because they didn't have our traditional color that we would order for our away kit. And we probably won't want to keep the away kit. So we will probably sell that to you guys after the camp, but we have the England-Scotland games at the end of August that I need to keep hold of kit for. So I will probably hold on to the kit until the England-Scotland games have finished in August, and then see if any of you guys would like to purchase your match kit from Viborg. Any more questions?
Bobby, I've just got one last question. If you're going to provide all the playing kit and they don't need training kit, if we do a swap over at some point on Saturday afternoon at Stoke Mandeville, it's just going to be an easy swap, isn't it? We just take away the boys' dirty training kit and they won't need to take as much.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, I tried to articulate that earlier on, but you've done a much better job, Lisa. So that's exactly what I was trying to say.
Okay, thank you.
No worries. Any more burning questions?
Someone may ask it, so I will. Money. How much money should they take? What do
All
they
of
need
it.
to take?
Take all the money, Mel. All the money.
You would do.
It's I would say it's completely up to you guys as parents. You know, I know on school trips they sometimes set a limit on how much to take. Obviously, we don't want to be too daft and take out loads of cash, but there are some quite cool shops around in Denmark where they can purchase handball gear. There will be t-shirts. I'm sure Generation Handball will be selling. You know, I suppose it's for you guys to think about that and decide that, you know, if you guys want to buy some mementos and stuff like that. There's no I don't want to be the party pooper and say, oh, I only take 500 krona, which is 50 quid or so. Do what you think is sensible.
Is it just card everywhere, or are there some of the ones at the tournament only cash?
Yeah, no idea, to be honest, Mel. I imagine to be safe. I mean, considering there's no, when I was out there, I used my card for everything. I didn't take any cash. I didn't take any Danish cash. And that's the way of the world, isn't it? People are going more on the electronic payments than cash. So yeah, I'd probably be sensible, not change up loads of cash into Danish krona, and go from there.
Thank you.
No worries. That triggered any more questions? Okay, I'm just admitting one more person into the meeting before I close it. Cloudy's about, where was he, 35 minutes late. Cloudy, can you hear me? Cloudy, can you hear me? Ian? In any case, we will send this recording out to him. So yes, I'll close the meeting now. I think that's all the questions done, but if there's any more burning questions, then please let me know. I'll send out the PowerPoint presentation. It's got the links for the WhatsApp group and the player form and so on and so forth. We can set the deadline for the week before we go for most of it, so there's no major rush to get the information filled in, and I'll chase people as with reminders over the next few weeks. I suppose I'll just close off by saying, like, we're all really excited about this. All the staff, myself, Matt, Alexander, Ollie are absolutely buzzing about this trip going ahead, but also about the quality of the group. We have been really impressed with the level of training, and the quality of the players that we've got this year, and we're optimistic that we can get some good performances. I won't talk about results and standings, but at least go out and perform well and be a good advert for all the development work that's been going on in England, particularly at your clubs and within the performance pathway. So yeah, this is hopefully the start of a long journey for you guys in terms of the performance pathway going through the GB stuff. On that note, I just need to check to see if John Pierce is around. John Pierce is the under-18 boys head coach, and he wants to just catch up with the boys. So any girls that are on the call are welcome to leave now, and if all the boys can just hold on for 2 minutes and let me give John a call to see if he's available. And he wants to just have a chat about what the pathway looks like from the summer, moving out of the England under-17 program into the under-18 Great Britain program. Okay.
Thanks all.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, 2 seconds. I'm just. I'm my host, Bobby.
You're not, but I can give you hosting responsibilities.
If you give me hosting, I will put the calendar up for the draft calendar for next year.
Okay. You've got it now, mate.
Cheers. All right. Yeah. Evening, everyone. So, obviously, the majority of you hopefully recognise me, and obviously Bobby from the times with GB18s and that sort of stuff. And we've had a number of camps where the 18s, this season's 18s have had camps with the Futures program. Obviously from next season, 2023, 2024, sorry, 2022, 2023, the majority of you will be moving into the 18 side of things. So it will run very much how you've seen it run over the course of this season with the current 18 group. So Bobby may have already mentioned it. We run a revolving door policy, so there are no trials, so to speak. It's not. There won't be a single day where you come in and trial and it's a yes or no. It's a constant trial process that you will be assessed throughout the year. You'll be assessed at your clubs. Obviously, myself and Bobby are quite familiar with the club scene. We've seen you guys over the course of this season. We'll see you again over the course of next season. And the whole point of the camp is to make sure that the GB18 program is not the pinnacle of your handball career. Like, the GB18 program should be great. It should be a great experience, but our job is to try and make you the best handball, make you the best player, make you the best person, best handball player that we can do in the time that we have you with us. So the under 18 program is not the be all and end all. It's another stepping stone along the journey, and that's how Bobby and I will view it. So our job is to develop you as people and develop you as players. So that's the main thing there. So there's no need for this idea that you come into a camp at the start of September, and when you join when we let Huey join, so it can't be that bad, can it? All right. So it's one of those things, guys, where we develop you out throughout the season. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be an enjoyable experience. Obviously, with that as a GB18 tag, all you guys from Futures and Regional Academy, you understand the expectations that Bobby has set, and then obviously when you step into the under 18 program, those expectations are magnified even further because it's the next step on the ladder. So the whole process, the way it will generally speaking work, is we'll run a number of GB camps across the year, and I'll share a calendar with you in a moment regarding those dates and what we'll look at. But generally speaking, the under 18 program normally operates on a 2-year cycle. This was thrown a bit skew-whiff due to COVID. So normally speaking, every 2 years, there is an under 18 championship. So this current year group, which some of the boys will be involved in, are going to Romania in August as part of the EHF championships. There's the European championships, and there's also an international handball federation. So there's the international world championships and there's the European championships, and we enter these on a rotating basis. Next year's program, there is no international calendar. So what we'll be doing is we're looking for probably 2, possibly 3 trips aboard. So there'll be one pre-Christmas, one post-Christmas, and they will normally be where we go to, like, for example, Denmark or Portugal. Some of you guys will be aware that the under 18s are going to Portugal, Porto, for like what is effectively a club tournament, but we enter as GB. And then obviously we'll look for some international matches as well. All right. So the general process, 1 camp a month normally, a camp abroad pre-Christmas, a camp abroad post-Christmas, probably in that sort of springtime. And then if we can, we'll do something in the summer as well. So it'd be normally 3 camps abroad in total across the year. And obviously you guys be aware of this with some of the future stuff that's going on as well. So in terms of like what that will look like in terms of a GB calendar. So our first official GB weekend is the international weekends are designated by the IHF, the International Handball Federation. So you can see on this calendar in October here, the first international weekend that we can train on is the weekend, the 15th and 16th of October. Now, what we do, of course, as you're probably aware of this from the Futures program that we operate, we try and streamline the GB18 program to dovetail with the Futures program, the Regional Academy program. So you get to see the whole pathway ideally. And on these weekends, we also try and get the GB20s and the GB senior team to train alongside, so you can see the full pathway moving up. So the first weekend that we'd operate is the 15th, 16th. That would definitely be most likely. I did have it on here, but I believe that weekend is at Stoke Mandeville. Let me just give me 2 seconds. All bookings 2022-23. October performance. Yeah, Stoke Mandeville. So we'll be looking at that first camp here in the 15th, 16th of October would be Stoke Mandeville. That would be our first official camp. Now, obviously, you can see that there is no GB weekends currently as an official international on the official international calendar. But what we'd be looking to do is where you can see that the National Academy training weekends on the 12th and 13th of November and the 10th and 11th of December, we would align ourselves to that. So the GB weekends, which is the senior performance camps here, those align to the international calendar dates. So that means basically any player who's abroad on an international contract is free to come back and play. So any player like Ewan, for example, who's attached to a foreign club, their club has to release them on these dates, and you get 4 of those each year. So we would go the 15th, 16th, the 12th, 13th, and the 10th and 11th would be the first 3 camps pre-Christmas. So those are the first dates to look at moving forward from there. And then obviously what we'll do, guys, is when we've done our first camp, and information for this will be probably sent out realistically in July, start of August, about what the season would look like for the 2022-23 season for the under 18 program. We would sort of give you all the dates ahead, and then also we'd indicate where, we'd indicate where we're looking to go abroad. Now, Bobby, someone sending me no, we're good. Okay. Sorry, I got a couple of WhatsApp notifications. I thought you were secretly messaging me, like I said something wrong. So that's the very simple structure. That's the very simple version. Again, to reiterate, it's very similar to Futures. It's not a once you're in, and once you're out, you're out. We evaluate you guys throughout the season. So if you're Huey, for example, we part with you and you do a terrible job at the start of the season, we nurture you, we encourage you, tell you to keep on going, and then we see you reach your full potential and you're scoring spin shots like Jay Ross does. There's no problem at all. All right. So guys, if there's any questions, I'm happy to do a bit of a Q&A and answer anything like that. But again, normally with these sort of things, it'll be very similar to Futures. There's a camp fee. We'll try and keep it as cheap as possible. And we use the centralized locations that we've done previously, such as Wolverhampton, Derby, and Stoke Mandeville are normally where our camps will be based. The camps that we look to go abroad would be Porto in Portugal. Aarhus and Isi would be our 2 foreign camps in Denmark. And then if we can find another international tournament to join, that's what we would look to do as well. So guys, any questions, I'll be happy to answer them for a quick Q&A. You're muted, Bob.
Yeah, do you want to stop sharing your screen, mate, so we can see the group better?
Sure.
Thanks, mate.
I will take that I've done a fantastic job explaining the GB18 program. James Fans looks very impressed, so that's good. J Ross as well, so I'll take that. I've done a great job. Aiden's got bored, just walked off by the looks of it.
I'll interject, John, and say that I felt I did the same on the Futures call, but they were very shy with the questions at first, and it took a little while for them to warm up to questions. So whilst you back yourself in terms of the information you've delivered, I'm sure there's some burning questions that players have got. So yeah, and I'll start actually by saying, if this is your first experience of John, I apologise on the behalf of England Handball. So yeah, there's a little apology for you there.
Is Chi even on this call?
Chigozi's on the call, yeah.
Yeah, I know he's. Chi, where's your video camera? You're not one to be shy. Come on. Not. I know. Chi, I know it's not on. I can see that. You're not wearing your hat. Is that the problem? This guy.
Any questions?
Okay, well, I've done a great job.
It would appear so, although I did see Lisa shouting at the mic. I'm not sure you're on mute, Lisa, if you had an actual question then. No. Okay. Great. Listen, if there are questions, then obviously you can feel free to forward them over to myself, and I can link them to John, or John, you can put your email address in the chat box now.
Yeah, sure. Chi, nice to join us. Looking smart, mate, as always. Yeah, so my email is in the chat now for you guys. So yeah, if there's any burning questions that you have after this, do feel to jump in. The GB18 program, yeah, it's the next step on the pathway. It should, we do try and make it a good time and good fun, and obviously, well, to be fair, from what I've seen of most of you guys, you understand the responsibilities that come with it. So I don't necessarily need to reiterate them. Like, from what I've seen of you guys within Futures, I'm very impressed with the level, with the standards of behaviour, and with the aspirations. So that's the way it should be. So I won't speak too much about that. It's about coming in, having a good time, enjoying the experience, and again, it's a stepping stone. It's not the be all and end all. It's the next step along, hopefully, a long journey. And my job and my aim here is that when you guys are 25 to 30 to 35, that you're still involved in the game in some format, either ideally contesting for GB senior places, or back in the pathway, coaching at a different level, or playing within the club game. So that's the main purpose and main focus of this program in my eyes.
Thanks for that, JP. Now that they've got your email address, you'll probably get a barrage of questions about kit, because that's what I got on the Futures call. Everyone loves a bit of stash. But I just thanks for joining the call, mate. Appreciate it, and I hope that the information John shared has been useful. I'll take the opportunity to wrap the call up now. I've got another call myself at 8 o'clock, so I'd like a few minutes to de-zoom before I resume. That's actually quite good.
That was very nice.
Resume. I like it. Good.
You leave your hat alone, mate. It looks great. It looks great. Don't worry.
Right. Enjoy the rest of your evening, everybody. I hope you're not too tired after yesterday's efforts, and we'll catch up with you soon. Thank you.
All right, guys. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you very much. See you later. Bye.
Cheers.
Cheers.